In today's video, we're reviewing the Stash Invest app. I'll be covering all the new features that have come to Stash, sharing my experience with the app after using it for 2 years, and I'll also briefly touch on how the Stash app compares to other popular investing apps out there today. Hey, welcome back guys. This is Eric of Everyday Investing, and on this channel I'm all about helping the everyday investor like you and I get started saving and investing. So if you're new here today, definitely feel free to subscribe and hit that bell notification to catch future investing and personal finance videos just like this one. Also, if you would like to jump ahead or jump back to any part of today's review, I'll be sure to include timestamps in the description box below, as well as my referral link where you can get a free sign-up bonus when first joining Stash. Now, one of the reasons I'm really passionate about the Stash Invest app is because Stash was actually one of the first investing apps that I started using myself when I first got into saving and investing. I've been using Stash now for about 2 years, and if I had to pick one word to describe my experience with Stash over these past 2 years, I would have to say that word would have to be consistent. Now, don't get me wrong, no investing app is perfect, but I would have to say that Stash has by far been the most consistent in implementing new features and bringing those to the platform and introducing new features to us Stash users. And because of all the new features they've continued to bring to their platform, that's one of the reasons why they're still one of my favorite investing apps today. So what exactly is the Stash app? Well, the Stash app is an investing app that makes it easy for new investors to get started investing in different areas of the stock market, in real estate, in bonds, and even into some alternative investments. Now, while they do have a desktop version, the Stash app is a mobile-based app and it is available on both iOS and Android devices. So how exactly does the Stash app work? Well, first of all, what you need to know is the Stash app is a very versatile app. It goes far beyond just investing because they also have a mobile banking feature, they also have a cashback portal, and you can even opt to open a custodial account or a retirement account if you so choose. Now, if you're a new investor, you're really going to love the Stash app because it has a really clean and easy to use interface, and also because they use really easy terminology when it comes to their investment funds. That's what got me started and interested in Stash when I first started investing. Another great advantage for new investors is that with the Stash app, you can get started investing with as little as $5. Now, the reason this is a great advantage is because many larger brokerages such as E-Trade and Charles Schwab, you may need hundreds of dollars just to get started investing in single stocks. But with the Stash app, you can actually buy what's called fractional shares. And what this means is you can buy fractional shares as low as $5, so you can buy a fraction or a percentage of a full share of a stock that may cost hundreds of dollars. You can put $5, $10 into that, whatever amount is comfortable for you, and you can buy a fractional piece of that share, a fractional piece of that stock. And because of this low minimum requirement, it makes investing very accessible to the everyday new investor. Like I said, you can get started with just investing $5, and you can continue to contribute small, consistent amounts over time. So whatever amount is comfortable for you to contribute on a weekly or monthly basis, no matter how small that amount, as long as you're consistent, those contributions will add up over time. Now, that is actually one of the biggest indicators to growing your investments and wealth over time: consistent contributions. So Stash actually helps you do this through 3 different methods they have that help you automate your contributions consistently without having to really worry about it or think about it. I'm going to show you those right now inside the app. So the first one is called Set Schedule. Now with Set Schedule, this was formerly called Auto Stash, and basically what this does is it allows you to automate your contributions by setting up a schedule to deposit and contribute to your Stash account. You can set up to deposit weekly, bi-weekly, or even monthly, and you can set the perfect amount that's comfortable for you. Now the great thing about this is you can pause and resume this feature at any time, so you don't have to worry about that. And it also helps reduce your risk in investing because you're never entering a giant lump sum of money at one time into the stock market when it may be at a particular high in the stock market and there might be a pullback on the horizon. By contributing consistently, even smaller amounts, you reduce your risk in investing. The next approach they have is what's called roundups, and this one here lets you invest your spare change from your everyday purchases straight into your Stash account. So the way this works is you link a debit card to your Stash account. You can link up to 3 different debit cards, or you can use the actual Stash debit card, and I'll show you that in just a second. And when you use this for your everyday purchases, it'll round up the purchase to the nearest dollar, and that change will be pulled to invest into your Stash account. So essentially, let's say you're buying something for $3.75, it'll take that extra 25 cents and put that towards your roundup. Once you have $5 worth of roundup change, it'll then invest that $5 into your Stash investments. And just like the Set Schedule feature, the roundup feature can also be paused and resumed at any time. The last one is what's called Smart Stash, and with Smart Stash here, as you can see, what it does is it has Stash analyze your spending and earning patterns, and only on days when you have extra cash to spare, it'll transfer a small amount of cash for you into your Stash investments to help you save. Now you can set a max transfer limit on this feature, and you can also pause and resume it at any time. Alright, so now I'm going to actually talk about the investments offered on the Stash app. So they actually have over 250 investments you can invest in on the Stash app, and this is comprised of both single stocks and ETFs. And if you're wondering what ETFs are, ETF basically stands for Exchange Traded Fund, and that is essentially a basket of stocks, a theme of related stocks that are grouped together to help reduce your risk instead of investing in individual stocks. Now, while the Stash app doesn't have every single individual stock, they have continued to add more individual stocks over time, so their library of stocks has continued to grow. Now, all of the investment funds on Stash are actually well-established ETFs from well-established investment firms such as Vanguard and iShares. Stash just simplifies their terminology and makes it a lot easier to understand for the everyday user. Now, Stash does have several pre-selected ETFs, such as more conservative investments, more moderate investments, and even more aggressive investments. They also break it down by several different sectors and niches in the stock market to really help you take the guesswork out of what you're investing in. It really simplifies it, makes it easier to understand. And with each investment option on Stash, whether it be single stocks or ETFs, you can click on them, read their overview, see their performance, and really invest in the stocks and ETFs that you believe in. And again, guys, whether you're investing in single stocks or ETFs on Stash, you can invest with as low as $5 because you can buy fractional shares. So if you want to invest in a piece of Amazon, but the share of Amazon right now costs $1,800, that is daunting, that is a lot. But if you don't have $1,800, you just want to invest $5, $10, $20, whatever to buy your piece of Amazon, you can do that on the Stash app. So let's now briefly touch on the different types of accounts you can open inside the Stash app. The first one is just that, the Stash Invest account. This is the one that started it all. This is your core investment account inside your Stash app. This is where you can invest in ETFs, single stocks, and because this is not a retirement account, you can deposit to it and withdraw from it any or all of your funds at any time without restriction. The next account type Stash offers is what's called Stash Retire. Now this is actually a retirement account. They offer several different kinds. They offer both traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs, those stand for individual retirement account, and Stash does offer that as well. And again, much like the regular Stash Invest account, you can start your Stash Retirement account with as low as $5. Now, I personally already have my retirement account set up somewhere else. I had it set up there for years before Stash had this option available. But if I didn't already have a retirement account set up somewhere else, I would definitely consider Stash because the earlier you can start saving for retirement, guys, the better. Trust me, that is definitely key when it comes to saving and retiring early. The third type of account you can open with Stash is actually called a custodial account. Now this is an account for those under 18. So if you have a son or a daughter and you want to start saving for them, whether it be for their education or for a car while they're still young, now they can't open up a Stash account because you have to be at least 18, but you can open up a Stash account on their behalf as the custodian. You can manage it, contribute to it for them, and when they turn 18, that money, those investments will then transfer and belong to them. So this is a great option, like I said, if you have anyone in your life that's under 18 and you want to start saving for them, want to start investing for them, the custodial account offered from Stash is a great option for that. I also forgot to mention, guys, that this is not just a feature for parents. As long as you're an adult, you can open this account for anyone that you want to save for. And the last account type inside the Stash app is what's called Stash Banking. Now this is not an investment account, this is a mobile banking checking account. And the cool thing with this checking account through Stash is that there are no monthly fees, no maintenance fees, and there's also no minimum balance requirement. The Stash checking account also comes with a Stash debit card, which allows you to easily transfer funds between your investment account and your checking account and vice versa. And speaking of the Stash debit card, Stash has actually recently integrated the ability to earn cash back from your Stash app. And they allow you to earn cash back in two different ways. So the first way you can earn cash back with the Stash app is actually through earning up to 10% cash back at local restaurants and merchants. You can use either your Stash debit card or a linked debit card you link to your Stash account, and you can earn cash back from your local purchases. Up to 10%, that's a crazy high amount, guys. The next method is actually through what they have called Stash Stock Back. Now this one's also cool. Now this one you do have to use your Stash debit card, and if you make your purchases with the Stash debit card at major retailers, you can actually earn stock back in a percentage of stock back in those companies that you bought from. So let's say you buy from McDonald's or Starbucks or Netflix or Walmart or gas or groceries, any of those places that Stash offers individual stocks from, Chevron, you can actually earn a percentage of stock back into your Stash account for your purchases. So it's a pretty epic combination. You can earn both cash back and stock back with the Stash app. So definitely one of my favorite new features with Stash. So let's now talk about the pricing and fees when it comes to the Stash app. Well, first of all, there are no commissions to buy or sell your investments, whether those be single stocks or ETFs. but there is a fixed monthly fee to use the app. Now, if you're just using the Stash investment account, the fee is a fixed $1 per month on balances up to $5,000. For balances over $5,000, it is a 0.25% of your balance. Now, I did add some confusion in past videos. People said 0.25% of $5,000 is $1,250. Let me show you with the calculator here. It is actually $12.50 because you multiply the 5,000 by 0.25%, not by 0.25. So that's what the fee is for an investment account, $1 per month on balances up to $5,000 or 0.25% on balances over $5,000. Now, if you want to open up a custodial account for someone else, that is $1 per month fee separately. Also, the Stash retirement account, if you want to open up a retirement account, that is a fixed $2 per month fee. And for the Stash banking, there are no fees. There's no monthly fee. So another question I get a lot is investing on Stash safe? Well, guys, I will say that Stash is registered with the SEC and FINRA, and they are SIPC insured for up to $500,000. So what does this mean? Well, the SIPC is actually the equivalent of FDIC insurance for a checking account. It's just that SIPC insurance is for investment brokerages. And pretty much all major investment brokerages, all registered and legitimate ones, have this insurance and are also registered with the SEC. So what this means is if anything were to ever happen to Stash, if they were ever to go bankrupt or go out of business, you wouldn't lose your money because the SIPC would step in and liquidate your account and give you that money, or they would transfer those shares of stocks you had to another brokerage account. So either way, you are protected with that SIPC insurance. So who would I recommend the Stash app for? Firstly, I would recommend it for new investors because the fact that you can get started with investing with just $5 really does make it accessible. Secondly, the fact that they use easy terminology really does help new investors because it's not as overwhelming if the terminology were more complex. So that really helps. And thirdly, inside the app, I didn't show you guys, but they do have an area called Stash Learn that does have plenty of helpful educational resources to learn about saving and investing for beginners. The second type of investor I would recommend the Stash app for is actually for even more experienced investors who simply want to invest more efficiently. With their built-in automation tools, it does help encourage you to invest consistently, and this really does help take the guesswork out of it. Also, the fact that they have no trading fees or surprise commissions, just that fixed monthly fee, which is as low as $1 for just the investment account, that really does help you save on commissions as well. And thirdly, the fact that you can invest in fractional shares does help you invest in more expensive stocks that may cost hundreds of dollars if you had to buy the full share at another larger brokerage. And the last type of person I would recommend the Stash app for is simply an investor who wants to get a lot out of their app. Again, the Stash app is extremely versatile because you don't only get an investment account, you can also get a checking account for mobile banking, you can open up a retirement account with them, you can even have access to a cashback portal with your Stash debit card. So there really is a lot of value packed into the Stash app. Now, who would I not recommend the Stash app for? Well, firstly, I would say the Stash app is not as ideal for short-term traders. The Stash app is more designed and built to be a long-term investment platform. But if you want to do short-term trading, you want to look at probably a different app than the Stash app. Maybe check out my review of the Robinhood trading app. That one is more designed for short-term trading. The Stash Invest app is more geared towards long-term investing and growth. The second type of person I would not recommend the Stash app for is someone who's looking to invest in very specific stocks. Because again, Stash doesn't have hundreds of individual stocks available at this moment. They currently have over 200, and they have many major companies like Amazon, Walmart, Starbucks, Netflix, Google, Facebook, all the major retailers that you want to invest in. But if you're looking for a more obscure individual stock, it may not be offered on Stash. So that is something to consider. Again, you may want to consider into an app like Robinhood that does offer maybe thousands of individual stocks. But again, the downside with an app like Robinhood is that you do have to invest in the full share, whereas on Stash, you can invest in fractional shares for as low as $5. But with that being said, I do still have faith in the Stash app because they have continued to add more single stocks over time. Like I said, when they first introduced individual stocks to their platform, they only had about 50. Now they have about 200, so they are growing over time. And the third type of investor I would say the Stash app is not as ideal for would be those who are looking to invest directly into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Now, Stash does have a blockchain ETF into their platform. They also do have several companies that are related to blockchain and cryptocurrency such as AMD, IBM, companies like that. But if you want to invest directly into Bitcoin, Litecoin, or other cryptocurrency, you can't do that on the Stash app. If you want to do that, I would definitely recommend checking out my Coinbase app review. That is an app that you can invest directly into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And again, if you're new to the Stash app and would like to try it out, definitely feel free to join through my referral link in the description box below, where you can get a free sign-up bonus when you join Stash and invest your first $5. So let me know your favorite feature with the Stash Invest app. Again guys, your likes and comments are always appreciated because they help give me some feedback into what types of videos you'd like me to make more of. If you'd like to see how the Stash app compares with some of my other favorite investing apps, definitely feel free to check out my playlist of those videos right over there to the right. And if you're new to the Stash app and would like to learn more on how to use it, feel free to check out some of my other Stash app tutorial videos right above there as well. And of course, if you have any questions on the Stash app, feel free to leave your questions down below as well. Thanks again for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Everyday Investing.